first elected in 1996, former professor at l'Université de Montréal, PhD in political science, and here's a trivia point for you. The longest serving Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs in Canadian history from 1996 to 2003, the architect of the Clarity Act. We refer to him behind the scenes as the Superman of Canadian unity, and a very, very bright man who was behind the Jean Chrétien war room when we needed people, when we were up against the Reform Party and the Conservatives and the NDE, and we had responses like that because Monsieur Dion was behind the scenes making sure that we had facts, figures, and brilliant arguments. And so he has worked all day today on at a constitutional forum about Senate reform, and he said that if any of you wanted to go to sleep, he would be happy to talk about that. But we are here to let Monsieur Dion share his thoughts on where we are as a party, how we're going to win this 2015 election, and then I will have some questions for him in a fireside chat moment. But mesdames et messieurs, veuillez accueillir chaleureusement. Let's please welcome to Edmonton and to Alberta, l'honorable Stephane Dion.
Much. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, all of you. If you are here a Saturday evening, instead of watching the game or having fun in families, it's because you have a motivation. You have a conviction. And the conviction and the motivation is that you want to replace this bad government by a liberal government. You think after 9 years of Harper, it's enough. Yeah. We don't want 13 years of Harper.
No.
That would be very bad for Canada. And it's time now to have a new Prime Minister with a different style, a different approach, closer to the people, generous person, bright person, Justin Trudeau. It's what we need. And we want to be as much as possible a majority government, because we like very much our NDP friends, but we don't want to negotiate with them after the elections. Okay? So to be a majority government means next time to be more than 170 seats. I would say at least to be safe 175 seats. So assume that Atlantic Canada delivered 25 seats. Quebec dream about 40 seats. We are at 65. Assume that we take a lead in Ontario when we take 90 seats.
9-0?
9-0. So 9-0 plus 40 plus 25, we are 155. So that means that the West and the North need to deliver 20 seats. That means we need seats in Alberta, we need seats in Edmonton, and we need Randy as a member of Parliament. You need to deliver your riding. You cannot deliver more than one in this riding, but deliver it. That's key.
5.
5 what?
Edmonton, 5.
5 only in Edmonton?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Yes. Then 55 in Quebec. But no, it's a challenge. If you reach your 5, we'll have a 50. Okay? No, I try to, maybe my numbers may be different, but if we want to go to 175 when you start from about 35 now, you imagine how much you need to make progress. We cannot afford to lose your riding, and not with the candidate you have. But with a great candidate like Randy, so well considered and so able to engage the people. And I see now the team you have, Randy. I'm very optimistic. Anything we may do, we need to do. We need to win. Now, I explained the challenge, and we have the motivation. Can I give you? By the way, I'm not supposed to give numbers. Start now. But no, I will give. Every week we have new reasons to feel motivated and convinced. Last week it was the CIBC study showing that job quality is the worst in 25 years in Canada, thanks to Mr. Harper. Job quality the worst in 25 years. We have now 4 years in a row of trade deficit. Never we had a trade deficit when we were with the Liberals, the government. It's the worst economic growth in 8 decades that we have since Stephen Harper is the Prime Minister. The consumer debt is the worst ever. Kenyans are in debt as our American friends were in 2008, the same level. Job creation is half of what it was when the Liberals were the government. We Liberals inherited from Mr. Mulroney a deficit of $42 billion. The IMF was ready to put Canada under its watch. Well, at the same time, when Mr. Harper came in power after our government, we gave to him a surplus of 13 billion. So we achieved all what I have said, starting with a deficit of 42 billion, and he achieved so few, despite the fact that we left him with a surplus of 30 billion. Provinces, I was the Minister of International Affairs at that time when we were the government. Okay, it's not only because of me. But when we took the government from Mr. Mulroney, when Mr. Chrétien came after Mr. Mulroney, provinces were in deficit of $20 billion. When we left in 2006, provinces had a surplus of $13 billion. And after 9 years of Mr. Harper, provinces are back in a deficit of $15 billion. I look at that since Confederation, when you have a Liberal government, the economic growth is 2 percentage points higher than when you have a Conservative government. Over 150 years, I think it's significant. It's not random. It's a pattern that Liberals are better for the economy than the Conservatives. About the ability to trade and to export, you have seen the sad Keystone saga. I think the problem is that the Conservatives don't understand that as long as we don't deliver about the environment, we'll be vulnerable to the boycotts of the orders. So instead for Mr. Harper to attack President Obama, which does give a damn anyway, can we build a strong relationship with the US in showing that we are partners for the economy and the environment as well? I know it's difficult to believe it, but I am personally convinced that I would have succeeded in 2008. Not only Canada would be in better shape today, but this province would be as well.
He's failed to deliver for Alberta. He hasn't done the job.
Exactly. So what he has done instead, he cut the Environmental Assessment Agency by 44%. So if you are unable to have sound environmental assessments, you cannot have pipelines. But they don't understand that. They think the less we'll have all these green radicals in our legs, the more we'll be able to run fast. It's the opposite. You cannot have significant development if you don't have sound environmental assessments, but they cut it by 44%. Sustainable development technologies, they cut it by $25 million. Species at risk program by $12 million. So that's a lot of numbers, but it's always the same pattern that I'm describing. In order to stimulate the economy, we need to invest in infrastructure. And we need, anyway, bridges and paths, roads and cultural